Hey guys, welcome back to the JPM Performance channel. It is, of course, once again time for a shop tour. We are right here, September 19th. We have one more week until we head off to the runoffs. So, first off, weather report. It's still in the 90s this week. It's really annoying me. However, looks like we have a cold front coming in on Saturday, and then after Saturday, it's 70s as far as you can see. And odds are that means if it's 70s in Topeka as far as you can see, it's probably going to be 50s and 60s in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, which is pretty standard for this time of year. You never know. Could be 80, could be 30. That's the way it is up there. But anyway, we are on our 1 week countdown. We will have a shop tour next week, and that will be our runoffs just before we're leaving for the runoffs. Basically, the shop will be empty. I think we're going to do a, is that true? Oh, we're not doing a shop tour, like I said. We're not doing a shop tour next week because John behind the camera is not going to be here. So this is going to be your runoffs, your final shop tour before the runoffs. We'll talk about that at the end. Anyway, let's get right into the shop tour. So last week you saw I had a BMW differential sitting here, and I had these really cool snap ring pliers that I was showing you, and I was waiting on these big circlips. The guy bought a kit, and the kit came in. Look at all these circlips, tons of them. Problem is, they're the wrong diameter. So he ordered the wrong circlips. Not that big a deal. It's just going to delay us a few more days. So here it sits. Go figure. It is what it is. All right. So this is kind of interesting for me. So this is a new engine. I've never built one of these engines. Actually kind of excited to do this. This is a Honda D15A, 1, 2, or 3, doesn't really matter, but it's a D15 series engine out of an 84 to 87 CRX. Single overhead cam. You can see here 3 valves per cylinder. So 2 intake valves, 1 exhaust valve. And this is a core engine that I'm taking apart. So this is for Bill Lampkin's H production car. This is going to end up being next year's engine. And when I took this thing apart, I found something that was really interesting, something I've never seen before. I'm sure there's other engines that are like this, but I've just never seen it. So you've got a one-piece main girdle, which is cool. I mean, lots of Hondas and other manufacturers do this, but what you don't normally see is the fact that when the oil comes in the side of the block, right here, into the center, right there, it comes into this single galley. Normally, the oil would come into a main galley that runs across the entire length of the block, and then the oil would feed up through the holes right here. There would be a hole in the block, and it would feed into the main bearings, all 5 of them. In this situation, there's one hole right here, and it feeds up into the main girdle. So this girdle comes up this big tube, comes across, comes all the way down, and feeds the main bearings from the bottom side. I've never seen that before. I mean, I've always said Honda does, they build really good engines, but I have never seen this before. It's a really interesting thing. But the other thing about these D-series engines, nobody makes anything for them. So I was able to source some connecting rods, some forged connecting rods through Powder Machine, but nobody makes a really good custom forged piston for this setup. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make our own. We're going to make JPM custom pistons for an H production 1500cc CRX. So, single overhead cam. This is going to be interesting. So we're going to work on this and get some things developed, get some things going, and see how this all shakes out. I think it's going to be really interesting. In the meantime, actually have the Indy 2 LS3 powered car in here, just I'm just cleaning it up actually. I'm not actually fiddling with anything. But for those of you that haven't seen this car, this is a 2019 Indy 2 Mazda MX5 that I did a conversion a couple years ago for a customer, including a brand new LS3 525 horse engine and a Tremec 6-speed transmission and a Pontiac Holden differential and custom shocks and custom Willwood brakes and special bracing and custom exhaust and custom everything. So just getting it cleaned up. That's why it's sitting in here. Nothing super exciting, but there you go. Now, one thing that was on the bench last week that you guys didn't get to see assembled, I got the coif done with the RX-7 bell housing, tail housing, everything done for Paul Peniter. So this is actually just sitting here because I'm going to take it to the Runoffs, and Paul's going to come up with somebody who's local to him that I can drop it off with to transport it back to Texas. So that's what that's all about. I don't know, I can't remember, I don't think so, but I can't seem to remember anything. So was the nose done completely? Yeah, last week? Okay. So Ken's car is completely cleaned, prepped, ready to go, just sitting here looking pretty like she should. I just love how the new wrap cleaned up the nose. The aero catch latches cleaned up the hood. Everything that we've done over the last couple months in preparation for the Runoffs, I'm really excited for him to take this car to the Runoffs this year. So we're going to see what's going on there. Now, one thing I've got sitting over here is some wheels. So I decided to dismount 4 of the Mazda 2 wheels, get them all cleaned up, because I think, and I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks, I think I might see some tires for the Runoffs coming up here in 1 week. I think the tires are supposed to ship like, I don't know, last week, right? They still haven't shipped. This makes me very nervous that I don't have tires yet for my own race car for the Runoffs. But Hoosiers promised that they are completed and they are coming into the warehouse and they'll be shipping any second. So I'm hoping that they come in tomorrow, maybe Monday. I don't know, man. I think next year I'm going to order my race tires for the Runoffs in like May, and I'm just going to hold on to them. That's kind of my plan for next year. Mazda 2 update. All right, car's done, just like last week. She's sitting under wraps, keeping the dust off. But what we did talk about last week was the transmission. Well, look at this. It's all done. I got my new vent cap, my new vent installed, which means I already had it completely apart. So you see I restored a couple brackets. I didn't go super crazy with it, but I got the ring and pinion swapped out. So now I have a proper spare. Hopefully I do not need it. It can sit with the spare engine in the trailer. But this was kind of my last thing I needed to get done besides, of course, mounting tires. So waiting on tires, right? And then we're ready to go. So since this is our last shop tour before the Runoffs, you guys are going to see this, and I'm hoping that I see a bunch of you at the Runoffs. Travel safe. I know a lot of you guys that watch the shop tours are going to the Runoffs. So what do I say every year about the Runoffs? It's my favorite week of the year, right? Why is that? I get to see all my customers, get to get out of the shop, get to go racing, get to vie for a national championship, and there's parties and good food and entertainment. And of course, when it's up at Elkhart Lake, you've got one of the coolest tracks, the coolest towns to go visit. So I'm going to be parked in the Mazda area, which is when you come under the tunnel, as you're coming into the track, the Mazda area is to the left there. It's all inside of turn 14. Maybe a couple rows down, about halfway down on the left. So you'll turn left, a couple rows in, be about halfway down. You look for the only Mazda 2 with an H production sticker on the side of it, and you will find me. So come by, pay me a visit. Come check out the car if you want to check that out. If you have questions, need help, I'm always up for giving advice or helping over the week of the runoffs, of course, like always. But yeah, travel safe. I know a lot of us are coming from further distances than others. Like we got guys that are going twice as far as I am. So fortunately for me, it's only about a 10-hour tow. There's guys that are coming from a lot further than that. So travel safe. I'll see you guys soon. And so our next shop tour is going to be Runoffs Report. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3 weeks away. So no shop tour for 3 weeks. So I'll see you guys in 3 weeks. We'll talk about what happened at the runoffs, the good, the bad, the ugly. Hopefully it's mainly good. So we'll see. Appreciate you guys watching as always. See a lot of you soon. If you haven't got your car prepped for the runoffs, you're probably a little late. So we'll post runoffs. We'll talk about how to fix that for next season. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your week. Thanks for watching. Take care.